This is our list of the best fish for a 20-gallon aquarium. If you missed our last list on the best fish for a 5-gallon or a 10-gallon aquarium, be sure to check out those too, because all of those fish could easily be put in a 20-gallon as well. So if you think about it, we're really giving you 30 fish that you can fit in a 20-gallon aquarium. Anyway, let's get on with the list. Links to those videos will be on a card up in the corner and in the description.
Swordtails are one of the most common fish you'll find in aquariums, and when you look at them, it's easy to see why. They're available in a bunch of different colors, and that sword on their tail makes them easily recognizable. These are a really hardy live bear that will want the temp anywhere from 70 to 82. And they'll generally get along with other fish in the tank, but the males can be aggressive towards other males, so it'll be best to keep them in a group of one male to a few females. They're easy to breed, so before you know it, you'll have a bunch of them in your tank. They're easy to feed. Just give them tropical flakes or frozen foods like brine shrimp or bloodworms, and they'll be super happy and produce a bunch of babies.
Mollies are very similar to swordtails, and they look similar too, just minus the swordtail. Caring for mollies is also similar to swordtails. Keep them in a group where the females outnumber the males to help curb aggression and set your temperature to 72 to 80. They are also live bears, so be ready to have a bunch of teeny tiny mollies swimming around if you're doing your job. Feed them the same as almost all the other fish on this list, a good tropical flake with some frozen brine shrimp or bloodworms on occasion. Mollies are a really easy fish to keep and breed, so if you're a new fish keeper, you really can't go wrong with them. They don't get huge, they're available in a bunch of colors, even Dalmatian, and they're not going to beat up the other fish in the tank. Just an overall great fish.
Longfin cherry barbs are a super easy fish to keep that's only going to max out at around 2 inches. And they're another one of those high energy fish. They are all over the place. They have a very distinct stripe that extends from their mouth all the way to their tail fin, so they're pretty easy to spot. Cherry barbs are a schooling fish, so you won't want to just grab one or two. Keep them in a group of at least 4 to 5 and try to have the females outnumber the males to help with aggression. You can spot the males because they'll usually have brighter colors, and the females will be a little more round. Keep the temperature between 72 to 80 and feed them a good quality flake, frozen or freeze-dried food, just like all the others on this list, and you'll be doing fine.
The Rummy Nose Tetra is my personal favorite Tetra out of all of them. They're called Rummy Nose, but it's really their entire head that's red, and it's always a really striking red that you can see from all the way across the room. Add to that the black and white tail, and these are some really handsome fish. We have some in quarantine right now, and I gotta tell you, I think it's a really nice tank with just them in it. Rummy Nose will eat pretty much anything you put in the tank. You should never have a problem getting them to accept really anything. They're only going to get to about 2 inches when full grown, so you can have quite a few of them in a 20-gallon, and believe me, they won't disappoint. They like the temperature around 76 to 80, and they're pretty easy to keep. Believe me, I could talk about these fish all day.
I wonder where the Red-Eye Tetra got their name. That's really original. The Red-Eye Tetra is another really easy fish to care for that's only going to get about 2.5 inches. Not huge, but not tiny either. They're a great community fish, and they don't need to be in a huge group of other red-eyes, so you can get a couple of them along with some other tetras, barbs, danias, or even rainbows, and they should get along with everyone with no problem. They are an omnivore, which means they'll eat pretty much anything, but a good quality tropical flake food will do just fine for them. This is a bright silver fish with black fins and bold red eyes. You can't miss them. Everyone loves them.
White and black skirt tetras are easily recognizable because of their huge anal fins. I guess someone thought it looked like a skirt, so they named them skirt tetras. I don't know. These are really cool, readily available, easy to care for fish that's only going to get to about 2 inches in size. They're probably the fish on this list that can withstand the biggest variances in water parameters, so they're absolutely perfect for beginner fish keepers. They're not picky about their water and they'll eat anything, but that doesn't mean you don't have to take care of them. You still need to do your job and keep their tank clean with a good maintenance routine. White and black skirt tetras are a great community fish and won't bother any of the other fish. I've heard of some of them being fin nippers, but to be honest, I've never had that, and I've had plenty of these. Keep them in smaller groups, and if you can, give them some plants to hang out in. They don't have to be real plants. You can give them the fake ones. They'll be fine, and no one will judge you.
John said if we're gonna do 3 videos in a row about community fish and smaller tanks, then we better have glow light tetras on one of them. These fish are an absolutely adorable, almost transparent fish that when you see them, it's obvious where the name glow light came from. They have a bold stripe that extends across their entire body, even through their eyes, that glows under normal aquarium lighting. They only get about 1.5 inches, so they really could have been on last week's list where we talked about 10-gallon fish. Just like all the others, pH around neutral, temperature 74 to 82, good quality flake or frozen food. I wonder if I could just say that once and John just use that clip over and over when he edits the video. Anyway, glow light tetras, they're amazing little schooling fish that practically glow in the dark. Get some of these instead of those other glowfish. You know the ones I'm talking about.
The Scissortail Rasbora is a really unique fish that I absolutely love, and I think pretty much anyone would agree, so they just had to end up on this list. They're a practically transparent fish with really bold black markings on their fins. I just love them. Scissortail Rasboras are a schooling fish, so you'll want to put them in a group of at least 6 for them to be really happy. This is another really hardy fish that is easy to keep and will be fine for a beginner fish keeper that wants something that doesn't look like everything else in the tank. I'm a broken record at this point, but keep them between 73 and 78 degrees, feed them good quality flakes or frozen foods, and keep their water clean. Pretty basic stuff.
I've been waiting for this one of my absolute favorites, so maybe I'm a little biased. Anyway, purple emperor tetras are just incredible. They're easy to keep, and most people say they're easy to breed, but to be honest, they haven't bred for me. Nothing's ever easy for me except for maybe guppies. Purple emperor tetras are only gonna get around 1.5 inches, and they like to be in groups. When the males are trying to impress the ladies in the tank, they'll show that super bold purple color, and it's irresistible. You gotta love it. If I was a fish, I'd be impressed. Keep the temperature around 76 to 80 and the pH around neutral or a little lower, and give them some hiding spots so they can lay their eggs. Hopefully, you'll have better luck than me breeding them.
Serpae tetras are super popular with community fish keepers because they're bright red. They don't get huge and they're easy to keep. They're a schooling fish, so you'll want to keep them in groups of 6 or more, which when you see how striking they are, that's really not a problem. Who doesn't love a tank full of bright red fish? They can tolerate a wide range of parameters, which makes them another great fish for beginner fish keepers. They can handle the mistakes that new fish keepers tend to make. Copy and paste the same things we've been saying about almost all the other fish on this list. A pH around neutral, which is 7, temperature 72 to 78, and feed them a good quality tropical flake or frozen foods, and you'll get great success with these awesome bright red fish.